Now that the Commanders have departed ways with these coaches, Joe Witt, Kliff Kingsbury, who's next?
Welcome to the Commanders Supreme Club. We are building something legendary here, but we need you strong. Hit that like button right now. Show your power. Share this with your crew. Let them know where the real action is happening. And most importantly, subscribe. Don't miss a single moment of greatness. Join the family. We are waiting for you.
So like and share this episode. So who's next? Who they gonna hire next? You got the Commanders has requested an interview with Raiders defensive coordinator Patrick Graham. So I guess he got to go somewhere. Pete Carroll got fired. So, hey, when the head coach gets fired, everybody's gone. So, did the Raiders have a good defense last year? I don't know. I don't know. I didn't really follow the Raiders like that, but maybe they did. I'm not sure. But Raheem Morris is out there. I think he's looking for a head coach job. I don't think he's looking for a DC. Now there's a lot of people out here that said a lot of people have their opinions who might be the next coach. I heard somebody on TV said John Harbaugh might be the Commanders' next defensive coordinator. And I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense, really. I would think John Harbaugh would be looking for a head coaching job. But I don't know. I could be wrong. That's just me trying to make sense. But maybe John Harbaugh would probably be looking at it like, hey, I wouldn't mind being a coach in the DC area. There's a lot of prestige that comes with that. Believe it or not, it's kind of weird. There's some people like being around politicians. I don't understand it, but this is what I've been told. There's some certain jobs, certain teams, Dallas, Washington. It's like people kind of look at it like it's like prestigious being on these teams or being in these certain cities or involved or attached to these teams. Some people look at it like that. I mean, I don't look at it like that, but some people do look at it like that. I don't know why, but some people look at it like that. It's kind of weird, but anyways, that's either here or there. So some people have, and you know what? I don't think Kliff Kingsbury was a bad coach. By the way, I don't think Kliff Kingsbury was a bad coach. I just think that somebody had to be the fall guy. And, Dan Quinn ain't going to take the blame. Hell no. Dan Quinn, I don't really think Dan Quinn has ever really focused on offense since he's been coaching. I don't think so. His mainly focus is defense. He's over there. Dan Quinn is known as a defensive guy. So, now here's when you see Adam Peterson and Dan Quinn all looking like they're tight buddies and high-fiving and Dan Quinn is grabbing Adam Peterson, giving him a hug and all that shit. Man, let me tell you something. If Dan Quinn has a losing record this upcoming season, I should say, he gonna be gone. And Adam Peterson ain't gonna be hugging him and high-fiving him. All that's gonna stop immediately if things don't go well. There won't be like no tight buddies no more. Because the NFL stands for not for long. And the game is cutthroat. You can be tight buddies with somebody, kissing and hugging and jumping up and down 1 minute, and as soon as the players ain't producing, you gonna be gone. And that's the game. That's the NFL. So Dan Quinn, he ain't really got nobody left to really blame no more. Because Joe Witt is gone. Can't put the blame on him with the defense. And Kliff Kingsbury is gone. So if this shit don't work, Dan Quinn don't got nobody to blame and he gonna be gone. That's what's gonna happen. So don't get it confused. So check this video out. See, they're all buddy in the locker room and shit. Giving the awards to Wagner. Well, not an award, but more like a celebration. I think he had like over 2,000 tackles as a linebacker, and I think it's only 3 guys that ever did it. So they had it's like a little celebration they did in the locker room. But check this out. They all jumping up and down and shit. It's all fun and games now. Everybody happy, hugging and yeah, you that's my boy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, my big wags and this shit. Let me tell you something. And everybody was in the background. The owner, one of the owners, he in the background. Adam Peters in the background. Everybody's in the background listening. Joining the show. Everybody. Because I think this was part of Hard Knocks too. This video was part of Hard Knocks too. So everybody, it's a good old time. But I'm telling you, but when it's time to produce, shit, they're gonna take care of business. And being all buddies, and that ain't had nothing to do with it. They're not going to even give that no consideration. I'm telling you, the game is cutthroat. NFL's a cutthroat game. They're gonna forget all about that shit. They gonna have like a one-track mind. Watch. I mean, I hope it doesn't happen. I hope everything turns out well. I hope they have a winning season, but if they have a losing season, man, let me tell you something. I don't even think Adam Peterson is gonna wait till the end of the season to get rid of Dan Quinn if they have a losing season. If they don't have at least, I'm gonna say a 10 win. I'm gonna say at least a 10-win season next year. Shit. And playoffs. Man, shit, it's gonna, hey, because Adam Peters, he ain't going nowhere. Now if they flop like they did this year, they gonna clean the ownership. Gonna clean house. They're gonna come to meetings of the minds. And they're gonna clean house if they flop. Yeah, because if they flop, everybody gonna be gone. Yeah, everybody gonna be gone if they flop. But if they have a losing season, Adam Peters, he'll still be there. Yeah. But I'm not surprised that now a lot of people were talking about McDaniels. He could be the OC. But last I checked, he hasn't been fired from Miami. A lot of people were talking about him. But like they said, the Dolphins have been in touch with John Harbaugh. So yeah, a lot of people seem to want John Harbaugh for defensive coach. But McDaniel's still in Miami, so I don't know why people keep saying that. I guess they're thinking he's gonna get fired. I don't know. It's weird. A lot of fans are weird, man. But Dan, he's saved now. But I'm telling you, If they don't win, he's gonna be gone. He's gonna be gone. And I'm not. And I was kind of. I wasn't surprised. Somebody got to take the fall. You know. And they agreed to go their separate ways. By the way, it's not like they, got fired because Kingsbury still had one more year left on his contract, paid. So that means he's still being paid one more year, one more season. And wherever else he go, he gonna get paid. And plus, he's still being paid from the Arizona Cardinals, from what I've been told, from what I read anyway. Now, some people have told me Brian Daboll is a target in being the next offensive coordinator. I don't really know much about him, to be honest. I know him being head coach at the New York Giants, it didn't work. So I don't really know how successful this guy is offensively. Now, his claim to fame is that he was OC in Buffalo with Josh Allen in the beginning. When Josh Allen first came in the NFL, his claim to fame is, oh, look at what he did with Josh Allen. I'm like, yeah, I guess he did well with Josh Allen, but, what have he done lately? I haven't really seen any success he's had with any of the other quarterbacks since. Young, old. Veterans are young, I should say. So I don't know, But hey, we'll see what happens. We'll see if they give him an interview or not. I don't know. I don't really have no clue about who they would interview as OC or DC at this point. I don't know. Hopefully they have a plan. I don't know. But if the plan don't work out, Dan Quinn gonna be gone. He gonna be gone. He ain't gonna be running no more. And that's the game of the NFL. It's a cutthroat game. If players don't produce, coaches gonna be gone. Players get coaches fired. That's what it is. It's a what you done for me lately type of game. And man, you got some coaches, man, get 1 year, man. 1 year. Pete Carroll got 1 year at Vegas. Think about that. How the hell you give a coach 1 year, man? You need at least 2 years. You need at least two years to start to turn things around. And by the time you get to the third year, you start really putting the stamp down. You start really creating building blocks and a foundation of a team by the time you get to the third year. Now, do you have the outliers where they start winning before you probably think you would have? Sure. But that don't mean they don't have needs. It's still, you can still win a few more games than you probably thought you would, but that doesn't mean you're like a great team. You just winning and building and learning along the way. But you need at least 3 to 4 years. By the time you get to the 5th year, you probably ready to go to the Super Bowl. You probably a team built, battle tested to go to the Super Bowl. By the time you hit the 4th, 5th year, you ready. Now, do some teams get there before then? Yeah, but they not really battle tested. Maybe they just young and got a lot of energy, and they operate at a high level, and that's great. And they managed to get there and managed to get to the playoff. Then they managed making the Super Bowl. But for the most part, those teams usually don't win the Super Bowl. They might get to the Super Bowl, but usually the teams that go to the Super Bowl and win are battle-tested teams. You know, there's a lot of teams that went to the Super Bowl and they weren't battle-tested and they lost because they didn't have a strong foundation. You know, but I'm not going to get into all that, what teams they were. But hey, you tell me what you think. Who do you think the Commanders should get as an offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator? Below. Like, share this episode, and subscribe. Until next time, I'm out.
Like, share, subscribe. Join the family.